Howdy folks, how are you today? It's Monday morning, about maybe a little after 9 o'clock, and we're gonna go do some stuff on the truck. Finally got most of the interior buttoned up to where I can raise the cab, feel comfortable with it, because I'm not gonna have anything falling around or anything like that. Did a few things Saturday when I got home just to kind of tuck it up and finish it off. That way I knew I was happy with it. So let's go out and take a look at it. And I didn't get the camera out because it was super hot and I just wasn't feeling it since I worked. And I worked yesterday, and then I didn't do anything to the truck besides go and pick something up, which we'll go back in there and I'll show you before I cut you out here before I start working. So let's get up in here. Still no steering wheel on, which is fine. But yeah, I got all the mess cleaned up in here. Get you focused in on there so you can see that. That's just a chunk of cardboard. And this is up. Put that bumper pad up here. I'll put these new snap things on because I'd snagged these from the truck that was in Pennsylvania when I got all the interior. Got all that buttoned up. Got all that taken care of, which I think I showed you. But then I'd put this on Saturday and installed the fans, and they both work. Kick that on real quick. High, low. We got fans. So then I, just tucked this up. Got the aero horn hooked up, which I'll probably try to find one of those cool leather hang down things that you can just tug on so we're not seeing that wire there. And then I had cut this hole in here for the CB wires, the antenna wires to go in the back, which I'll probably try to, use one of these, and then over here, I don't know, I may have to just drill up in there and then drill up in there for it and have it right here, which, the fan, hopefully it won't cause too many issues with the fan, but then I'm gonna have to run my mic over here or something, that way I can grab it, because like I said, there's really no place here to stick it, because I have to be able to get into the fuse box and stuff, or the fuse panel, to get to those if I need to. And since this is right here, just be able to wire it right into that, and that'll be fantastic. So yeah, got this all taken care of, which it all works. Like I said, I unplugged the subwoofer wire because it'll end up just running through a hole I have right, oh, maybe it's this one right here, and then come up under here, under the doghouse. And then, like I said, that remote wire for me to turn it up will come right here, which this is the plug for the lighter. And this one works, and this one never did. And well, it was unplugged when I pulled it out. So I'll have to plug it in and see if it'll work again. But yeah, get that. That's all taken care of and stuff. So finally, I can, raise the cab up and get this wood off. So let's get back down. We'll go back in the garage real quick, show you what I picked up. But yeah, this stuff's what's coming off. So once I get off here and jack this thing up, it's going up, not going down, it's going up. And oddly enough, I just got a text message a little bit ago from FedEx that my package was out for delivery today. So that means I'm going to have not one but two cab Aerodyne, and while it cabs up, maybe I'll slap that other one on. I got to take one of the bolts off so I can see what size they are, because it was missing one, and I'll get some new ones from the Menards when I go over there. That way I have them, and I can probably just swap that one that I have out of the box out real quick. And wouldn't that be something if I was putting that one on when FedEx came and said, well, I was supposed to get that one on the 3rd, it's now the 30th, 27 days later, you're finally delivering it to me. And well, since you guys said it was lost, this company already sent me another one. So that'll be something. That's a head scratcher, but whatever. So yeah, I went and picked this up yesterday. That way I have two of them, because I've got a 29 in the blue chalk, which was in the blue chalk. Then I put it in the green chalk, and I've got a 25 that I had in the blue chalk. I took that one out because sometimes it just doesn't want to work, and then sometimes it works. I think it's just an old CB. I've had it since 2008, so it's just one of those things that goes bad. But I used my Petro points to get this. I had $79 on that. I used 75 of it, so I got this for, I paid 65 bucks out of my pocket, which isn't bad, or 63. So that'll be going into green chuck whenever I feel like hooking it up. I got me a little air sprayer a couple weeks ago for that too. That way I can hook that up. And well, that's about it for in here. So yeah, I'm gonna get off here and get that cab jacked up. That way I can start taking that floor and stuff off. That way, because I'm gonna need to, I'll probably put carriage bolts under that wood and that metal piece that hangs down on the wood. That way if I ever have to get back to that, I can. And I don't have the right, you know, big enough rivets to be able to put that in, and I'm not going to go buy a special tool just for that. I'll just use carriage bolts. I think that'll be fine. So that's what I'm going to do now. So until I get that thing jacked up and that stuff off, you know what we say. Well, folks, we got those cut off. We'll go out there in a second. There's the piece of wood that I think is almost exactly the same. That I might be able to use that. I don't know how to measure it before I go to the store. But got something else in the mail. UPS guy just come a little bit ago and delivered these. And these are new door handles that I'm going to put on because we will go out here and see why. Driver's side one is okay, but I'm going to change it out anyways because it's got some paint runs on it. And there are the pieces of wood with that metal or aluminum piece under it. That way I know exactly how they set when I do get that down and cut it, or, you know, I'll just trace that out. But this guy right here is broke right here. So if you don't open on this side, you got to open this door from the inside, which is a pain in the butt, but it's what it is. It's not like it's going anywhere or anybody's riding in it. And I'll have to change those out. So that'll be another thing you'll be able to see me do, because that is something that somebody might want to do sometime on theirs. If they have issues like that, handle breaks off, and I'll probably end up doing the blue trucks here one of these days. But yeah, that's got the smooth bolt on the outside there, and then it just has those bolts that go on the back that screw in so nobody can steal your stuff or get in there. Which I may order some new locks too. I don't know yet. I'll have to see if the key works that's in the ignition for that, because it's supposed to. But if I do change those out and you know, get different locks, that it's not a big deal. So I'm gonna measure that up real quick, and then I'll probably end up cleaning those up. Let's go get under there real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. A bunch of different spots where the rivets went in. From in here, they go up in here, which I'm not sure if you can see or not, but where those holes are at, that's where they go. And that basically holds that thing down on the floor up to it. But yeah, this is right here, and you can kind of see, but not really, up in these holes. That's where that one spot is at that I just showed you in the box. And then here's some other spots, and then there's some up there that go. So I'll clean all this up and probably end up painting this black before I stick that wood on with some of that rust paint, and then slap that bad boy up there. So not sure if it'll all get done today or not. It's probably 10 right now, so we'll see. I still got to go to the store and get those bolts and stuff, so I'll have to count out everything and make sure I get the stuff that I need. And then I'm going to, I think I've got one that's just free back here on this. Now this one right here I can take to the store. And when I change this out, I'm probably not going to change these out down here, because I don't feel like it might be a pain in the butt to get to on the back side there. So I'll probably just leave those in there because I don't see a problem with it. And then just take this top piece off and swap it out, because I should be able to. May even be able to leave that Aerodyne hooked up, but they did send me a new one. So we'll see when that day comes. It's not going to come until probably maybe tomorrow if I'm lucky, or the next day. I know we're going to go out of town for one of these days and head up to Michigan to the Henry Ford Museum, because the wife wants to see a Jim Henson exhibit that's up there. So we're going to probably take off and go up there one of these days this week. So that's one day I'll miss on the truck, but it's only an hour and 45 minutes away, so maybe I'll be able to come back and work on the truck. Just depends how long we spend up there. So when I get back, you know, I'll show you some good stuff. So till then. Well, folks, we got our board here, $26 at Menards, treated. Could have got the untreated, same size, for $36. So I just figured I'd get the treated for $26, $10 less for some reason. So pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace this right here and then cut that out, and then I'll slap that other one on there and cut that out, and then I will basically be able to use this as a guide. Right now this is the bottom that I want on the bottom, and this is the bottom, you know, what was down there. So I have got it pretty much set up how I want to, and then I'll be able to mark out and drill the holes as I go once I get the board done. So that's what I'm going to do now, because I need to get this thing going. And drop the cab because, well, I got other things to do, and I'm kind of letting this stuff dry up that's under there. And then I got some more of that rust spray, and then I've got some undercoating too that I'm going to put on after I get done with this. And I've also got some polyurethane spray that I'm going to, for wood, treat this with and spray both sides and coat it before I put it up there. That way it's got some protection and it's waterproof. That way I don't have to worry about doing this again anytime soon. And yeah, once I get all that stuff taken care of, then I can clean those up and slap it all on there. So, well, folks, check out what came in the mail yesterday, or was finally delivered from FedEx. So we've got 2 Link Cabmate air ride suspensions. So that one is going to end up going on the blue truck someday when I get around to putting it on, because the other one is going on the green truck. So we're going to have air ride on both trucks. Called up the Stengel brothers, let them know I got it. So I paid for the second one because I wasn't just going to keep it for free, because that wouldn't be right. And even though they delivered it to the neighbor's address in front of their garage instead of on our porch, and it said yesterday when I got the text message that it was delivered to my porch, left at the door, it was left at their garage. So it's what it is. You know, we got 2, not like we wanted to, but you know, we've got 2. So since we've got 2 K100s, they'll fit on both of them. So it's what it is. I'm going to get that out of the box and stick it in the garage, and then I'll probably start working on the green truck. So you'll be able to see some stuff from that, because I did end up getting those boards cut out yesterday, and I threw a coat of lacquer on the top, which I'm going to need to throw some more coats on here and get that stuff all sealed up before I start drilling the holes in. Because basically what I'm going to do is take the old ones, set them on top, drill the holes out, and then I can go up onto the truck and start installing those after I finish up some more paint and whatnot on that and sealing that up. And then I'd also got some undercoating yesterday, which I think I talked about, to rubberize that once I get done. That way that stuff is sealed up completely, and that's all going to get painted, and then the rubber under it, so it'll be hopefully waterproof and good for a while, and I don't ever have to worry about that as long as I own the truck. So that's what we're going to do here. So we will be back. Till then, you know what we say. Well, folks, just jumped onto the blue truck real quick because we had some clutch slippage going on a couple days, and backed off that linkage bolt a couple times, and it still wasn't helping. Sometimes it would just slip out. So jumped under there to back that bolt off that's up under the clutch that I've shown you before in a previous video. And I left the old side box open because I had to get the wood, my helper wood piece out to stick it on the clutch. That way I could get that bolt to turn and whatnot, and left it open, and stood up after I climbed up under there and busted the old forehead. So side box 1, forehead none. Always got to be aware of your surroundings, so stuff like this don't happen. Get your cranium cracked, it's not a big deal. It's just a little bit of blood, and I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah, that way, you know, you ever have those things where you're climbing around, always make sure that I got a little something in my eye too while I was down there. I have to go inside and take care of that with the old contact juice, clean that out some. But always be aware of your surroundings, man. I bust my head I don't know how many times on those doors when I've been doing stuff and leaving them open. So, yeah, gotta be careful. Well, folks, this is what we got going on right now. Pretty much use the derricks, or if you know what I'm talking about, inside joke, vice grips to hold these in place. That way I can drill these spots out that I need to. Using 3 different bits here. Big one, medium size, and a small one. That way, because these are 1/2 inch, these are bigger than that. I think a 9/16 or something is what the socket takes. So I don't exactly know the size, but these were 10 millimeter is what I got for these, which is right here. I got 1.5 inches, and then I bought these right here. That way when I do the bottom, which let's go over here and I'll show you, because I didn't end up getting carriage bolts because they got that square bottom, and I didn't want to have to tear up the floor when I was doing that. So you know, just pretty much drilled these out and then stuck these on the bottom That way they just go right in there, and I don't have to worry about no nuts or anything like that. Once I get this leveled up, I can just get up in there, have somebody hold that and tack one right in there, or I could probably do it by myself. I don't know. It's probably what's going to happen. So is what it is. Got a second coat of lacquer on this. Not putting any in these ones because this is where that plate goes. And what I'm probably going to do is just take one of these, flip it upside down, and still be able to use it. It just won't be tacked into anything unless I get some longer ones and a chunk of wood that goes right across there to where that'll stick down in there. But I'm not sure about all that because I really don't need to do that much. And right here's where the seat bolts will go, and then here's the seat belt that go into that section. So yeah, that's what that is. So that's what I did when I was at the store. I figured that would be the easiest way to go, is just get these prong T-nuts, and you know, stick them up in there. And like I said, everything's going to get painted and undercoated. So now I'm going to drill the holes out for these ones, and some of these spots are a little bit, you know, wider because that just rotted out, and that's how that was. But it's, you know, you just drill down in there, and I should be fine when I do those in there and not have anything that's too off. You know, if I've got to open those holes up a little bit to get those to go down in, that's fine. But yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. I've got this so it's all laid out and all the holes will be perfect, and then I should be good to go. So that's what I'm talking about. Besides the mess, the blood and the bed head, we're not doing too bad for today. Probably won't get this installed today because it's a little bit later in the day. Had to do some stuff this morning, take care of some things before I could get out here to work on it. But at least this is progress being made, and you know, we like that. So, well folks, we got some action going on today. These are pretty much done and ready to go. Besides, you know, painting them once they get up, they got 2 coats of lacquer on both sides, so they should be straight. So took the liberty this morning to pull that panel out right there that covers the fans and the evap, and I just did a fresh rebuild here on the floor with some of that rust stuff. And I may even throw a coat of, you know, the rattle cans that I use on the frame on here real quick, just to give it some extra protection. Make sure I hit every nook and cranny and crevice that I need to. Swept it all out real good. Oh, sprayed back here too. Got a shot of that. Didn't do anything up here because that's fine. You know, these all imperfection and scratches and crap like that back here, I'm just gonna leave those alone because it just kind of goes with the whole thing, being a ratty old truck. So yeah, that's what we got going on right now. And I'll let this dry up a little bit, probably shoot it with another coat just to do what I said, and then probably be able to tack that wood up under there, and then jack this thing up and spray under there so we can get that taken care of, because it's already sprayed the most part. It just needs, that wood needs to go on there, and then that bracket, which I'm gonna have to clean. And then eventually with this up to date, maybe I'll throw that on, because that should be 1 2 3 4 5 6 bolts that are actually in there, but it takes 8 total. And that's just swapping 8 bolts out, unhooking that air, slapping that other air up in there, and boom, we got new air ride. So hopefully that'll happen while the cab's jacked up today. So then I'll be able to, once I get that done, I'll be able to go get the wood that I'd like to use for the floor, and then I can start installing it. And this is going to be a pain to cut around, but I'll figure it out and get it. And like I said, I kept the original floor that was in here so I can use it as a template for when I get to that. So that's what's going on today. So hopefully we'll have some floor by the end of the day, but I doubt it. I don't know. It may wait until it's Wednesday, may wait until Friday, because tomorrow we're going to run out of town and do some things. So you know what we say. Well folks, like the one-man gang and lone wolf that I am, I was able to get this wood up here by myself with no help. It was kind of tricky, but we got her. And everything seems nice, tight, and snug up there. Let's go over to the other side, and I'll show you exactly how I did it. All the bolts are where they need to be. These might be a little high. Hopefully they're okay and don't stick up too much when I lay that rubberized flooring down, which I'll have to go from the bottom and shoot up, because, well, I guess I could stick this plate on now, but that'll be, I got to clean those up still before I stick them on. They're right over there. But here's how I did it. Since I'm working by myself, luckily the other side there was that oil dipstick and fill that I could kind of put that piece up on there. And then I just took this piece of staff or whatever chunk of limb I had there and used some boards to kind of hold that thing up in place to where I could get it to where I needed it, and then I could get one at least screw started. And I used this basically to, you know, figure out where it was at, threw the screw in by hand to where it started catching, then use the drill and put her down in. So there's a few holes here where they used to have fire extinguishers and such, with fire extinguishers and stuff, blah, which I've got some silicone that I'll probably fill those holes in with. But like I said, now all I got to do is get that plate cleaned, and I can throw that up there and then probably spray over this one more time with those, and then I'll be able to start putting that rubber down. So maybe we'll get on to some flooring today. I don't know, because the wife's got a laundry list of chores she wants to do around the house, so I guess we'll see. But yeah, I'll bring you back when I do. And some of these holes don't quite meet up, but that's okay, because if I need to drill them back out, I will, because I don't think I've got these rivets. Or I can just, you know, shoot in there and the wood will open up to where I can get that and the screw will go in. I had a couple that were crooked from when I drilled, but like this one was open so much, and you can see the holes right over there. Should just shoot down in there fine and straighten out once it grabs it. So that's what I'll be doing next. So we are moving along smoothly. Well folks, this is what we got going on. We got a layer here of this flooring down. We have got this up here, so that's all good. So when I do jack this up, I can paint all this wood and stuff and seal it up. Some undercoat up under here and on this. Like I said, I just took these and turned them upside down and used them. May get some 10mm bolts and throw on there just for some added protection with that little rubber thing, that lock washer, whatever. And now I gotta go over to the other side and do it. And it's gonna be a little bit more complicated because, well, there's a lot more crap in here that we're gonna have to work around, which is fine. I've got a level that I use, pencil to draw, and scissors to cut what I need to, and then this little rolly thing to smash it down when I need to. So I'm gonna clean this out real quick and get that in there. So we've got that installed. Then I can go pick out the wood I want from the Maynards, because I'll probably use some dark black or grayish color, and then I'll probably end up gonna get some floor mats that I'm going to put down. That way I don't because since I get so dirty right now, some of the places I go just mud pits. So that's what is going on. We got that taken care of, so that's nice. Yeah, that piece is up under there too. And then I can just tack the holes out that I need to for the seats once I get the flooring installed nicely with the drill, very carefully. Well folks, we're gonna switch gears here for a minute. Got the flooring installed. Well, that stuff on the driver's side there was kind of a pain to cut around some stuff, but we are going to get into this real quick, and I'm going to swap this out. Like I said, I'm not going to change those things because I don't want to have to remove the whole battery box and everything like that. But let's go over to the other side real quick. Can't fit through over there, so we're going to walk around this way. And this should be super simple because it's only like 6 bolts, because a couple of these things were already missing bolts and one I just popped out. So boom, boom, these are 9/16 bolts is what they are. And if they don't come off, I'll probably just break them, because I got old Big Chachi out here, and he's the man for the job to get these things off. If not, I've got some breaker bars and stuff. Here's the hardware they sent me in the one that I got from FedEx. Now, the one that came from UPS didn't have any hardware in it, so I went to the store and I bought some, but don't need it because I got that stuff. So that's what I'm going to use right now, and I'll keep that other stuff. It's not a big deal. I can use it on the blue truck when I go to install it, which will probably come sooner than later, maybe. I don't know, since I'm still running that truck. It would be nice to run it with some Aerodyne on that. Okay, but basically I've got everything else already hooked up and run, because
you know, this already had it. So I just unhooked the line, and I'm going to continue to use that one, and I'll just keep that new line for, you know, another day or whatever I need it for, because the Blue Truck passenger seat does not have air ride, so I could always use that line that I got to run across the seat, because I actually got 2 things of it, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm going to pop off those 9/16. What I have, the biggest problem with this is lifting it, because it's 95 pounds, I think is what the box said, but I'm not going to have those bottom brackets on, so it may just be like 70 something. So other than that, just, you know, monkeying up there, grabbing that thing, climbing, throwing it off, and getting the other one up, which I got a board in there I can lay down here and just bring that other one up and toss it up here. That way I can get this thing done. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So let me do that real quick and get those bolts undone. And when I get this thing back together, I'll probably lower the cab, we'll start the truck, and we'll see if she raises and set the ride height to what we need. This one was missing the little, you know, bracket there or whatever, doohickey, so I fabricated up a piece of metal wire, because that's the kind of guy I am. But yeah, this is all in right here. These are in. That one's a little popped out, and I tried to screw it back up in there, but I just couldn't get it, so I'm really not too concerned about it for now. I may, you know, do some other things, but 4 holes, that's all I have left. This is all taken care of, so this can all get painted and undercoated when I get, you know, the rest in, or I can just plug those like it's not a big deal and still undercoat this. Like I said, I'll probably get some, you know, 10mm with that thread lock on there and just shoot those up there. That way I don't think these are going to come out of here, but just to be safe, you know, and even if I wanted to, I could probably just buzz those off and not have them sticking down so far, because, well, I don't want to catch those with my head, because lately here I've been catching roto girders with my head, and some of this stuff is sharp. And obviously, as you can see, I've still got a knot there and a pretty deep gash, which the old lady's semi-concerned with, but I'm not, because, well, I've cut my knuckle with a cutoff tool right there. I don't know if you can see that scar or not. When I was working on the Blue Truck, oh, maybe 2 summers ago or something like that, and I probably should have got stitches, but I didn't, so I just threw some super glue in it. I'm that kind of guy to where I'm not going to the hospital for nothing unless I'm dying, and even if I'm dying, just let me go. I'm not going to the hospital. So I'm gonna go do that real quick, and when I get done, I'll bring you back. So, and we'll fire up that truck and see if we've got air ride. So we'll see you. Well, we've got a little bit of a situation going on here. Not sure what it is, but for some reason, this side over here in the back, if you can see that or not, I don't know if you can. There you go. You see that gap right there? Yeah, I got all those ones on just hand tightened, because that side's not down. So I guess what I'm going to have to do is lower the cab real quick, because none of those are tightened. I need to make sure that's at the right spot before, when I lower that down to you know, before I tighten the stuff, and make sure that that'll go in there where it needs to go and lock. So if I need to move this you know, to or fro, I can, but it's not going to have a ton of wiggle room. Basically just going side to side, not front and back. But yeah, we've got to get this down to try to smash that down so I get those other bolts on there. So that's what I'm going to do real quick, and then we'll fire up. I'll close you out, that way if anything goes crunching, I need to switch that other one out, you don't see it, and you don't know about it. So we'll be back. Thing did not crunch down like I was hoping it would. So we're going to just jump in there and start it up and see if when the airbags lift and it raises up, which I got a thing right there I can take off, and I can raise that as high as I want to. Hopefully that'll level out. If not, I'm gonna have to figure out how to get that thing down. So let's get up there and fire this thing up. Let's get out of there. Big Chichi off here, Big Chachi, whatever his name is, Chichi. That way he don't fall down, and we don't have no boom boom with him. But you know, let's get this thing fired up. Make sure nothing's gonna fall off. It should be all right. I don't see any tools or anything on there. Yeah, there's that nice floor. Check it out. So I'll just probably pick that wood up on Friday. Neutral. There you go. It's alive. Yeah, give it some. Air, brake, low air, yeah, we know. Water light's not flashing. Over 60 psi there. Bolts are 13. Not bad. No water, obviously. Right on about 7. 0 miles per hour, 30 psi on the fuel pressure. Still haven't messed with that yet, so whatever. Not even on the list. Close. Be messing with that. So we'll build some air here and turn this little knob down here. There's a little knob to turn this thing on and off. Sorry if you're close. It's just one of those things that happen. So this thing don't sound bad at all. Door shut, so it ain't rattling. Nice and quiet. Love this motor. I just like this truck with this motor in it. It's nice and quiet. Scoots down the road nice. The stack's not too loud, but I'm thinking my buddy Otto's got a couple stacks. I'm either going to snag those from him, but they're rusty on one side because his brother had them. And he had them on a freight line. I think he said they're like 7 or 8 inch, so they're huge. And they're gonna be huge, and they're dual, so I'm gonna dual them. If I get those, I can pick those up for cheap, but they're kind of rusty and ratty. So if not, what I was thinking about doing was taking the ones off the blue truck since they're so high. And those are 108 inch stacks from the bottom piece that comes in there, the corner piece, and then just grabbing some 96 inch 6-inch stacks, because they'd be a little bit shorter and I'd be able to pull them up farther. That way I wouldn't have to worry about taking anything off, because when I have to change that fuel filter, I got to take that whole thing apart. And you see how low this is right here? Yeah, see how low that is? If I get some 96-inch stacks, I'll be able to slam that right up in here. And then that's still not going to be, because those are 13, almost 13.6, or a little under. So let's see if we got some air air popping here real quick. It'll probably be a minute, so I'll bring you back once I get that thing leveled out, because I don't really have much more to talk about, and I'm gonna figure this out. So we'll be right back. Well, folks, we've got air in the bags there. A little piss out of here down yonder, because it's the thing to let the air out. But yeah, these are full, and that thing's not sitting on that like it used to, because when that other one was there, it used to, and the bags had holes in them, so they leaked. So we're good here. All I gotta do is tighten those up. I had to, while that was full, I had to fill it up real quick, go over there, take some bolts, and twist them in by hand, and then start cranking them to get that to level out. So now I'm gonna jack it back up and basically tighten everything down, because the placement of it seems to be okay. The hook's down and in where it needs to be. No, you can't see that, but oh, let's see if we can get under here. A little better view. Not really. So yeah, it's hooked though, so we are good to go on that. So I'm gonna jack it back up and put everything, tighten everything back up. So that's what we got going on. We've got some air ride on a Frankenstein. So the blue trucks will be coming someday. So hopefully that helps you out. With super easy. Just, you know, when I started the truck, I didn't even have the air hooked up. Forgot all about it, but got her hooked up, and she filled right up. So good to go. So if you ever have to do this, there's these bolts they send with this little bracket that holds this to a certain height. And this is basically the right height that one would be at. I know you can't see that because of the sun. Right there. If these were, it was just a regular stiff one. So I took these off, and let's go out here real quick, because I seen something in the manual when I was reading it, because, well, occasionally I do that. And they said red bolts, but they weren't red, and they're 1/2 inch. So let's raise it up. She is stiff. Okay, so that's going to drop down now. And then let's just let the cab set back down there. And Boom, we've got air filling her up. And I'll probably adjust that, I'll probably adjust these to where that's lower so it's not so high. I don't mind it, but I'm filling her up over there. Wonder what that air piss was. But yeah, I'll probably adjust that to where it's a little bit lower. Don't need the ride height what it's at because the cab's kind of tilting just a little bit. So, and I'm used to it being back. So once I, you know, get the seats in and finally get running down the road, I'll take care of that little adjust knob on there. But yeah, you got to take those things off, which I didn't realize that until, and I thought something isn't right because I'm filling those bags up and they're not going. And that's basically what it is right there. So you can just keep those in there in the truck with you. That way, if something does happen and you blow a line or some whatnot, you can throw those things on there if you can get them up to where they need to be. So that's what that is. That's going to close this out, and I'll probably wrap up today because well, I'm tired of doing stuff and I don't really have anything else because I need that wood floor before I can start doing anything else in there. So that'll be that. I mean, I could throw some panels in if I wanted to, but really don't feel like it. Probably go see what the wife's up to. So till then, you know what we say.